although you're not exactly my demographic, I have to say.
Right.
My demographic is somewhat older and maybe a little less straight, perhaps.
Bette Midler is 79, and her presence remains as powerful as ever. From the dazzling lights of Broadway to the glamour of Hollywood and the rhythms of the music industry, she has done it all. Her career spans over 6 decades, filled with unforgettable performances, countless awards, and a determination that never wavered. She didn't just survive in the entertainment world, she thrived, reinventing herself at every turn. But behind the laughter and the applause, there have been battles, whispers of scandal, and moments that nearly broke her. The story of Bette Midler is more than fame and fortune. It's one of resilience, reinvention, and raw talent. But before we get to the Bette Midler of today, we need to go back to where it all started. Bette Midler was born on December 1, 1945 in Honolulu, Hawaii, a place known for its breathtaking landscapes and warm island culture. But for Bette, childhood wasn't all sunshine. She grew up in a working-class Jewish family, a rarity in the Hawaiian community, which often made her feel like an outsider. Her parents, Ruth and Fred Midler, worked hard to provide for their children, but money was tight and expectations were high. Even as a child, Bette had a spark that set her apart. She was named after Hollywood star Bette Davis, and in many ways, she was destined for a life in the spotlight. While other kids spent their days at the beach, young Bette found herself drawn to books, movies, and the world of performance. She had a natural gift for storytelling, humor, and music, but fitting in was never easy. Her classmates teased her for being different. Her red hair, strong personality, and dramatic flair made her an easy target. But instead of shrinking under the pressure, she leaned into her uniqueness. She used humor as both a shield and a weapon, something that would later become one of her trademarks. By the time she reached high school, Bette was already dreaming of bigger things. She participated in school plays, sang whenever she had the chance, and knew deep down that she wasn't meant for an ordinary life. Her talent earned her a scholarship to the University of Hawaii, where she studied drama. But the classroom wasn't where she wanted to be. She had her sights set on something much bigger: New York City. With only a few $100s in her pocket, Bette took a leap of faith and moved to Manhattan in the mid-1960s SS. It was a city filled with dreamers, artists, and performers, all vying for their shot at stardom. She worked odd jobs, struggled to make rent, and auditioned for anything she could. After countless rejections, she finally caught her first big break. In 1966, she landed a role in Fiddler on the Roof, a Broadway production that would give her a taste of real success. She started in a small part but eventually worked her way up to play Zeitel, one of the lead roles. Broadway gave her credibility, but it wasn't enough. Bette Midler wasn't just another actress, she was a force of nature. She wanted more than scripted lines and structured performances. She craved freedom, connection, and a stage where she could be herself. And she was about to find exactly that. But Broadway was just the beginning. Bette was about to step into the wild world of cabaret and controversy. After her time on Broadway, Bette Midler was ready to carve out a place of her own in the entertainment world. While others followed the traditional paths of theater or mainstream music, she took a different route, one that would define her image and build a loyal fan base. In the early 1970s, she found herself performing in an unexpected but groundbreaking venue: New York City's gay bathhouses. These underground clubs were a refuge for the LGBTQ+ community, and Bette became their queen. Her performances were unlike anything people had seen before. She mixed music with comedy, heartbreak with outrageous humor, and classic show tunes with rock and blues. She had a voice that could belt out a ballad and then turn around and crack a joke that had the whole room roaring with laughter. It was raw, unfiltered, and electric. She wasn't just singing, she was performing in a way that felt deeply personal. Her audience adored her, and in return, she embraced them like family. During this time, she met a young musician who would play a crucial role in her rise to stardom, Barry Manilow. He became her pianist, collaborator, and musical director. Together, they honed her sound, blending theatrical flair with soulful melodies. Manilow helped her record her first album, The Divine Miss Mem, which was released in 1972. The album was an instant success, featuring hits like Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy and Do You Want to Dance? It showcased her signature mix of humor, showmanship, and powerhouse vocals. The world had never seen a performer quite like her, and they couldn't get enough. Her bold style and infectious energy didn't go unnoticed. That same year, she won a Grammy for Best New Artist, cementing her place in the music industry. But she wasn't just a singer, she was a performer in every sense of the word. Hollywood took notice, and soon she was making her way onto the big screen. In 1979, she starred in The Rose, a film loosely based on the life of Janis Joplin. The role was intense and emotional and required her to bare her soul in ways she never had before. She played a rock star consumed by fame, addiction, and self-destruction, delivering a performance that stunned audiences and critics alike. The film was a hit, and Bette earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. It was her first real taste of Hollywood success, and it proved she was more than just a singer. She was a powerhouse performer who could command any stage, whether it was a nightclub, a concert hall, or the silver screen. But with success came struggles. Fame was never easy, and neither was navigating Hollywood's pressures. Success didn't come without a price. Despite the applause, awards, and growing fame, Bette Midler struggled with something that many stars quietly battled: self-doubt. For all her confidence on stage, she often questioned whether she was truly good enough. The pressure to stay relevant, to keep outdoing herself, and to meet the expectations of critics and audiences weighed on her. Hollywood, for all its glitter and glamour, was an unforgiving place, especially for women. The industry constantly demanded reinvention, and Bette felt the weight of that expectation on her shoulders. Romance was another battlefield. While she dazzled on stage, her personal life was far from perfect. She had relationships that ended in heartbreak, often finding herself drawn to men who couldn't handle her larger-than-life personality. Love was complicated, and with fame, it became even harder to know who was truly there for her and who was caught up in the fantasy of being with a star. She longed for something real, something stable, but in an industry built on illusions, that was hard to find. Then came the career missteps. After the massive success of The Rose, Hollywood expected her to deliver hit after hit, but the early 1980s proved to be a rough period. Some of her film choices didn't land the way she had hoped, and a few box office disappointments made critics question whether her Hollywood breakthrough had been a fluke. The music industry was changing too, and while she still had a devoted fan base, trends were shifting. She wasn't the fresh new act anymore, and that reality stung. Adding to the weight of it all, she faced an ugly truth that many women in entertainment knew too well: sexism was everywhere. She had to fight to be taken seriously, to be respected as more than just a novelty act. Executives, directors, and producers often saw her as a loud, comedic performer rather than a serious actress or musician. She had to work twice as hard to prove she belonged, and even then the industry was quick to judge. But perhaps the hardest blow of all was a personal loss. The 1980s saw the rise of the AIDS crisis, a devastating epidemic that took the lives of many, including close friends and colleagues. The bathhouse culture that had helped launch her career was now at the center of a tragedy. She watched as the community that had embraced her, the people who had championed her from the beginning, suffered in ways the world refused to acknowledge. It broke her heart, but it also fueled her fight. She became an outspoken activist, using her platform to raise awareness, offer support, and demand change. For a while, it seemed like everything was slipping away: her confidence, her career, and the people she loved. But just when the world counted her out, Bette Midler did what she does best. She made a triumphant comeback. Bette Midler knew how to fight back. When the world thought she was fading, she came back stronger, louder, and more determined than ever. The late 1980s became the turning point of her career, proving that talent and resilience could outlast any setback. Her comeback began with Down and Out in Beverly Hills, 1986, a sharp, satirical comedy that put her back in the spotlight. The film was a hit, and audiences were reminded of why they had fallen in love with her in the first place. But that was just the beginning. In 1988, she starred in Beaches, a heart-wrenching drama that showcased not only her acting skills, but also her ability to deliver music that could move an audience to tears. The film's signature song, Wind Beneath My Wings, became an instant classic, earning her a Grammy and solidifying her place as a powerhouse performer. Hollywood took notice. By the early 90s, Bette was one of the highest-paid actresses in the industry, a rarity for a woman who didn't fit the mold of traditional leading ladies. She was loud, expressive, and unapologetically herself, and audiences adored her for it. Then came Hocus Pocus, 1993, a film that wasn't a massive box office hit at the time, but would later become a cultural phenomenon. Playing the wickedly funny Winifred Sanderson, she created one of the most iconic Halloween characters of all time. Decades later, fans would still quote her lines, dress up as her character, and celebrate the film as a beloved tradition. She didn't stop there. In 1996, she starred in The First Wives Club alongside Diane Keaton and Goldie Hawn. The film, a sharp and witty take on revenge against cheating husbands, became an instant hit, grossing over $180 million worldwide. It wasn't just a success, it was a statement. Hollywood had long ignored stories about older women, but The First Wives Club proved that audiences wanted more. Bette, along with her co-stars, had redefined what it meant to be a box office star. Her stage presence remained just as strong. She dazzled in Diva Las Vegas, a spectacular live performance that reminded everyone she wasn't just an actress, she was a show-stopping entertainer. Awards and accolades followed, from Grammys to Emmys to Golden Globes, each one proving her ability to dominate in multiple arenas. Bette Midler had done what few could. She conquered Hollywood on her terms. She had faced rejection, reinvention, and the relentless pressure of fame, yet she never let it break her. Instead, she thrived, proving that raw talent and authenticity would always win in the end. But while Hollywood loved her, the tabloids had their narrative, one filled with rumors and controversy. Bette Midler has never been one to hold back, and that has made her both beloved and controversial. Over the years, she has been at the center of some of Hollywood's biggest feuds, public scandals, and media-fueled debates. Her sharp wit and fearless personality have sparked clashes with other celebrities, while her outspoken political views have put her in the crosshairs of critics and fans alike. One of her most infamous feuds was with pop icon Ariana Grande. After commenting that Grande's onstage persona was overly sexualized, Midler found herself in a public spat that quickly made headlines. Though she later apologized, the moment showed that she was never afraid to say exactly what was on her mind, even when it ruffled feathers. Over the years, she has also had rumored tensions with industry heavyweights like Cher and Barbra Streisand, with whispers of behind-the-scenes rivalries and diva-like clashes. Her political opinions have also made her a target. A vocal critic of several US presidents and policies, Bette has never shied away from making her stance clear. Whether it was through fiery interviews, speeches, or her unfiltered social media posts, she has often found herself in heated exchanges with both politicians and their supporters. Some praised her boldness, while others accused her of being too extreme. Then came the plastic surgery rumors, whispers that followed her for years. The media obsessed over her changing looks, speculating about whether she had work done. Some said she had gone under the knife, while others believed she had simply aged gracefully. Bette, always one to keep people guessing, rarely addressed the rumors directly. She neither confirmed nor denied them, letting the public believe whatever they wanted. Her presence on social media has only added to the fire. Known for her biting sarcasm and sharp tweets, she has had more than a few online battles. From clashing with politicians to calling out fellow celebrities, her Twitter feed became a battleground. Some admired her unfiltered honesty, while others accused her of stirring unnecessary drama. But despite the gossip, Bette Midler has never let anything define her, except her talent and influence. Bette Midler's legacy is more than just music, movies, and awards. It's a story of resilience, activism, and unwavering authenticity. Beyond the stage and screen, she has used her voice to champion causes close to her heart, leaving an impact that stretches far beyond entertainment. For decades, she has been a fierce advocate for LGBTQ+ rights. Her early career was shaped by the community, performing in New York's gay bathhouses when few mainstream artists dared to. She stood by them in times of celebration and in times of tragedy, especially during the AIDS crisis. At a time when much of the world turned a blind eye, she spoke out, raised awareness, and actively supported organizations providing aid to those affected. Her unwavering support made her more than just an entertainer. She became a symbol of love, acceptance, and loyalty. Her activism didn't stop there. She has been a passionate environmentalist, founding the New York Restoration Project, which has helped revitalize parks and green spaces across the city. She has fought for cleaner communities, better environmental policies, and a healthier planet. Whether it's social justice, climate change, or humanitarian efforts, Bette has never hesitated to use her platform for change. Even with decades in the industry, she refuses to fade into the background. She returned to her role as Winifred Sanderson in Hocus Pocus 2, proving that some characters and some stars only get better with time. The sequel brought together fans old and new, reminding the world of the magic she brings to every role. Beyond the nostalgia, it was a testament to her lasting power in Hollywood. Aging in an industry that glorifies youth isn't easy, but Bette Midler has never been one to conform. While others chase after impossible beauty standards, she embraces each stage of life with humor and grace. She has spoken openly about getting older in Hollywood, rejecting the idea that women become irrelevant past a certain age. Instead, she continues to shine, proving that talent and presence don't come with an expiration date. Now, at 79, Bette Midler remains a force. Her energy, wit, and charisma are still as strong as ever. She may not perform as often as she once did, but when she does, it's clear that the magic hasn't faded. With her signature red hair and larger-than-life personality, she continues to defy expectations, looking as radiant and confident as ever. So, after all these years, what does Bette Midler represent to the world now? For more than 6 decades, Bette Midler has captivated audiences with her voice, her humor, and her unmistakable presence. She has conquered Broadway, ruled the music charts, and lit up the silver screen, leaving behind a legacy that few can match. From the raw energy of her bathhouse performances to the grandeur of Hollywood, she has remained unapologetically herself, bold, daring, and unforgettable. She is not just a singer, not just an actress, not just a comedian, she is a force. A woman who shattered expectations, defied industry norms, and who proved that reinvention is not about changing who you are, but about amplifying what makes you unique. Through every triumph and every setback, she never lost her spark. She fought for her place, embraced the highs and lows, and came out stronger every time. Her performances have left an imprint on generations. Songs like Wind Beneath My Wings still bring tears. Hocus Pocus remains a Halloween staple, and The First Wives Club continues to empower audiences decades after its release. Her work is more than entertainment, it's a celebration of talent, resilience, and the power of being true to yourself. Bette Midler stands as a testament to what it means to be timeless. Her career has been a whirlwind of music, laughter, and reinvention, but through it all, one thing has never changed: her undeniable talent. She is proof that true talent never fades, it only shines brighter with time.